Hey everybody. I know it's been a hot minute since I've played, but winter has been kind of weird for some of the states, and it's definitely not been an exception here, and hasn't exactly felt that great, but I'm trying to make a difference. I added some replays to the main channel, well, the cardboard domain channel, and now I'm getting back on, using a little bit of spare time that I have, knowing that I hadn't streamed in a while, so I'm going to try to make some progress and get out of the Jade ranking that I'm in. It just shows you how long I hadn't played. Kind of undone all the progress that I made, which is fine. Not a big deal. Biggest thing right now is just earn some gems, make some progress, and in 5 days we're going to get a new selection pack, hopefully, and we'll see what's inside of those. And then I'm trying to figure out what kind of new deck I want to make. I'm thinking, like, is there a way to make a main deck Alistair strategy? Just because I actually like Alistair over. Kind of like a main like deck. But alright, this hand is not bad. It's got 2 starters and then a end phase card. Oh, Sky Strikers. That looks like fun. And of course, because of how old the game is, even people in Jade are going to have meta decks because it's been out long enough, or people have done the same thing as me and deranked. So we're going to be facing a somewhat meta contender with Wing Dragon and Raw Sphere mode, which is great. They search for that card specifically to try to actually get a starter card. It looks like they're going to go into Ace. Ace is probably going to hit the field, immediately go into a Link monster and set up a combo there. Not too familiar with almost any archetype, so not haha. Alright. This is probably a perfect example of why duel is one of the most frustrating games in the world to play, because I don't know how common this is in other games specifically, and I will say Pokemon and Magic specifically, because if you have like a pretty bad hand in Pokemon, you usually start. It's like, even if you get 1, you've got plenty of tools in order to figure out how to get stronger strategies back onto the board. You know, engines to search for cards. You know, the game's been around long enough. And I think it's similar in a way where you can have a, but at the end of the day, you're probably still going to push to make something work because your draws can be exceptionally good. Unfortunately, in this particular game, a lot of people scoop just because they can't do a specific perfect setup instead of just playing the game. I don't really have a strong strategy here. I'll go ahead and just set my once per turn battle immune mole, just in case they decide to swing at it. Set a Forbidden Chalice to turn off any effects. Go to end phase and set my Caddy. And Caddy, of course, is going to be used to search for Puppy whenever I get the chance. Puppy is going to be the stronger card, although Fenny could be good because this, when summoned with a special effect of a beast, allows me to pop a card. But Puppy is better in the long run because it allows me to fetch other cards in general, including Pony, which allows me to fetch cards out of the grave. Fenny, of course, second, because it would allow me to use the rabbit in hand. But the rabbit's not a dud. I can normal summon it in order to go into a Link with a Mind Mole, I believe. Let's see. I can go... No, can't go into that one. I might be able to go into that one if I end up losing a card. Oh wow, what a surprise. Sword Soul. This adds a card. Okay. If it's a special summon effect, let's say this card's not a special summon, you can reveal one card from your hand. Yes, I will activate the effect of Caddy. And they're going to add it, of course. The problem is that when you play ranked mode, you can't actually do anything because since you're playing ranked mode, you're effectively dealing with anybody who's going to be trying to climb out of the low ranks and get to the high ranks. As much as you might have other effects that would be a lot stronger, all I'm going to do is just try to make sure that you can't go into a synchro monster, and yeah, most likely you're going to punch Caddy. And then I'll be forced to be stuck with whatever I end up drawing. Now, punching the Caddy, of course, is what you should do, because that prevents me from having my... Okay, you decide to go for the unknown. I guess that works, but again, getting rid of the Caddy with a stronger card would have been more preferable. Anyway, so its effect is completely gone now, I believe. Although that's not a great card to draw. I can remove it, but I think I'd rather wait until a better effect. Now, what I can do is normal summon this, see if this triggers anything. Yeah, it doesn't do anything, so if you want to destroy it, that's fine. There we go. We'll go into Melffy of the Forest, because I don't have any cards in hand. That works with this card. I simply have to go for the long game. I can summon, let's say this, and destroy it, just so that it's gone. But honestly, let's see. While that token is on the field, it can't do anything. If this card sends the graveyard synchro material, you can draw one card. That's it. It's card advantage. That's it. Have to leave the X monster zone open in case I decide to go into a link monster for the remainder of the duel. Now that this is out, we can see if they have a card or not. Of course, it feels like anytime I'm in Jade, a lot of people throw these decks together thinking they're the meta cards and then just have no idea how to run. So it's always amusing, although very annoying. The long pause is because they don't know what they want to do. Everyone wants you to control and 2 cards for controls, destroy them. Okay. That works because I have a card that basically says, turn me into destruction. Okay, well, you're going to break the one card that's important to their protection, but it doesn't matter. They're done. We'll go for, well, now that you have no board, I'm tempted to go for something else, but no, let's go for... Alright, well, thank you. And change to attack position in order to have a life point advantage. Now, I do technically get what they were going for, which is they were trying to just destroy the card that gave my spell protection. However, it might have been more advantageous to keep a body on the field, because I don't have a way to attack over it, and it could have been used as synchro material in general. So now that I have a puppy on field, I have a pop that's live. Your graveyard, you control this. Nope. If you control this card's managed. I'm wondering what he's sitting on hand. So the real question is what do I summon? And here's the thing. This is going to deactivate it after the chain is already resolved, so I should still go ahead and just pop it. It probably isn't going to help any because, again, it's going to create the token. It's going to have the token with the protection. The player who summons cannot special summon monsters except for... Okay, so we're going to remind ourselves in the face-up Melffy monster. Remember face-up monster under controls. It cannot attack. All its effects are negated while it's face-up on the field. Let's see. There's really no reason to pick the other card. So we'll just go ahead and chain it so that it's essentially destroyed and negated. Now, of course, we're kind of at mercy where, yeah, they could summon this card. Most likely link it off into a Link 1 in order to use its effects. Of course, I don't know what its secondary effect is in the graveyard. Banish this card, special summon one 10-yi monster. Okay. They're trying to use all of their effects that they can. Or fail to link off in order to go into a Monk of the 10-yi? That really doesn't make a lot of sense, but okay. Is a 2500 defense monster. Let's see. If I switch this into attack position, I actually get Zeus, which actually wouldn't be too bad of a card. And I really do need the search. I will say that. The search, I think, would be a lot more efficient. If I normal summon Hop Your Squadron, then I could actually make Zeus with something else. Let's see. Or 3 monsters, everything is in defense. All 5 monsters on the field are changed defense position. That's a strategy I could go into, yeah. 3000 attack, unaffected by cards in defense position. Or, no, I don't want to bounce it back into their hand. I just need to actually destroy it. This is a separate strategy I've actually just because of how it's, just because of its summoning conditions. Yeah, I'll it's fine. Oh yeah, that's right. It does affect the whole board. Let's see. I know that seemed kind of like a dumb misplay, which I would agree, it is. I'll just have to remember that from now on. I think I'll go ahead and take it. Because the search isn't that bad, because it actually is a put 3 back and shuffle. I'm gonna put you're important to go back. Same for you. And cat. Let's see what we get. When your opponent monster declares an attack, target a level 4 monster in your graveyard, special summon in defense position. I actually mainly run that just to put another body on the field and make sure that it stays. Let's see. Battle phase. Control no effect monsters you on this card. If you control a face-up non-effect monster, you can banish this card from your hand or graveyard. Oh. Let's see. I may actually need to remove that card, because it does prevent me from being offensive with anything else. Because yeah, I can't set up Zeus if he's out. And even though the Melffy cards prefer to be in defense position for all of the different strategies, I think it's a little bit too restrictive. Yeah, there you go. Control a face-up non-effect monster. Wow, okay, we did it. That's crazy. because we were going to remove their face-up non-effect monster. They didn't have any other strategies to go off of, and we won. That's cool. I'm super happy about that. It's... I guess you could say, like, from that perspective. Oh no, we've got the maximum amount of replays. Okay. I do actually want to save that one. I guess, you know what? That's kind of redundant. I think that's kind of redundant, actually. We did get it live, so there's a reason to get a clean replay. Actually, that's a good question. I think I like the idea of a clean replay. Ooh, you know what? I've got a so much better idea. I think I have this one already. I need to go back and check all of these to make sure I actually have everything I need. There's a thing that somebody does where they place content on their channel. The first one is audio, but the second one that's in a pinned comment actually happens to be the non-commented version. So we could always actually do that. Right now, can't remember which one this is called. Copper or bronze. After someone quit because they didn't want to actually play the game, and then suppressing Sword Soul long enough. Oh, one person. Suppressing Sword Soul long enough. But yeah, this deck is very much controlled. Of course, if it's not a meta deck, I think that's really what it comes down to anyway, is a lot of control. So we have 2 end phase cards, which is really good, and then a starter card, defensive card. We're going to go ahead and activate Closed Forest, just because we want to fake out any cards that they may have. Go into Obedient School so we can get 3 bodies on the field. Mainly, I think Nimble Beaver. Because what we're going to do... Let's see. Do I want a normal summon? Not really. If I go into... let's see, Fenny and Tri Brigade. No. I think it doesn't really matter too much. I just happen to have too many good cards in my opening hand. I guess I could get the entire legion of cards on the field real quick. To explain what I'm doing is simply going into Joyous Melffy. Joyous Melffy basically allows me to pick an XC card, bounce it back into the extra deck, and then special summon any other cards in the graveyard that match the description to description. Once returned, quick effect, you can target 1 beast XYZ monster you control, bounce it, then special summon level 2 or lower beasts from your graveyard to the number of materials it had. It doesn't have to be the materials it originally had, it could be any level 2 or lower beast monsters. This is just to set up the pop. Unfortunately for them, the bunny effect is not once per turn, so Puppy will be a second pop. Caddy will be search effect. Most likely another starter card, or Alpha, which is just a very good boss monster. Fortunately for us, Caddy is a really good card that searches a lot of the cards in our deck for us. Puppy is just a good way to pop. However, if I have to, I can always go into other Melffy cards. All zombies you control gain 100 attack for each opponent you control. For each monster your opponent controls, if exactly one zombie monster you control and other cards would be destroyed, you can send this card to graveyard instead. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this going. Because that's going to be a problematic card due to the fact that it's going to be a large body. But it's not. Let's let's go ahead and just remove this card so that it's no longer a problem, because we don't want their zombies having that kind of protection or power. Let's see, this card battles a fiend or zombie type monster. That monster at the end phase. No. Do I want to do the search effect now? Yeah, we'll do the search effect separately, and then not worry about that. And is there anything in my grave? I would say no. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Depending on what kind of board they set up, I saw one specific card, so I'm gonna go ahead and just grab a caddy. If they go to the battle phase, it's not a big deal. I'm not worried about losing the rabbit, and they can't attack any of them, because just like if a monster is special summoned or normal summoned, if they are swung at, they also still bounce. I was going to say, yeah, if they read the effects, yeah, they have to punch. Okay. That is an exceptionally good card to have drawn. Let's go ahead and activate it. This gives all of our beast cards protection. We're going to go for Caddy. We're going to activate Caddy. Pitching it is the cost, so they can't technically do anything in response unless they're able to target it anyway. We're going to do a copy of the mystical deer and mind mole. This allows us, of course, to go into the legendary Naturia Beast. Getting the issues, as usual. This isn't exactly the most amazing card, considering if they're running trap cards, it's not going to help me any. However, it is still a strong effect. Let's see, I have 4 bodies. I can get another draw if I want to. This is buffing their attack, so until I absolutely need to, I would say I'm not going to activate it just yet. I don't exactly need the card draw. I would say all of them are valid targets, especially Pony. So I'm going to go to battle phase and just crack this card. And yeah, I think that's it. This card is not great because the field is still full of cards. You need the room in order to summon the monster that you're going for. Link 1, one monster, Link 4, which is the main target, 4 monsters. So, I think I'm gonna sit on this and pass. If they decide to activate any spell cards, Naturia Beast will infinitely negate every single one of them. Now, I wish I could make Dragon, but I need Melffy support, I think, to make that a little bit more viable. But we'll see. Right now, if they summon any monster, it's essentially going to get shot, and if they summon, or if they use any spells. You tribute one monster, spell summon zombie tuner with, this card is banished. This card is banished. It's not once per turn, and there is a bunny in my grave. I will activate, yeah. I'll go ahead and activate everything but Puppy. I actually do not want to activate it because it's a separate trigger that I can activate. This allows me to pull with Pony, the rabbit from my graveyard into my hand, and then that makes Fenny. Let's see, we've already set up Naturia Beast. I don't think I really want to have another starter, and since we already have so many bodies on the board, let's go for Alpha, just so that we can start bouncing cards if we need to. We're going to special summon this card. Its effect is not a quick effect, therefore we can just go ahead and that was a normal summon, so now they'll have to have a special summon or another trigger in order to get a body on the board. Because lo and behold, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still about beating someone to death. Usually. They set another card. I don't exactly know what they're going for, since 2 of them couldn't trigger whenever I attacked. Questionable at best, but it's alright. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and... Let's see. We got 3. We've got Caddy. We're going to go ahead and normal summon attack position. Go ahead and go into a Link monster. Most likely... Let's see. We need to pop a card. And if we summon... See, we have the combo now where Pony can always bring back the rabbit. Fenny can always special summon the rabbit, therefore you always get that combo. In order to get rid of this... Okay. We decided to concede and the strategy wasn't going to work any longer. Not a big deal when you're having to... the UI is still messed up because they left early. That's funny. But I cannot interact with it, so we're good. Let me fix something real quick. Yeah, the microphone is going. Yep, the TV audio is still going, so we're all good. That would have been slightly funny, but embarrassing if none of that was working. Let's see, what was that we just fought? That was an attempt at zombies. I guess I can. It's not a big deal. So far, a couple of interesting matches. I'm not too worried about it, though. Aw, somebody actually has one of the better mates. Actually, a good question. Is that considered a beast? Those monsters are actually beasts. That's a really terrible starting hand, kind of. I am going second, though, so that's not actually the worst part of it. Alpha is able to special summon itself if my opponent has more attack power total than what my opponent has. And if that's the case, then it can summon itself. It has an effect that it's able to bounce any number of beasts to undo any number of monsters my opponent has. So let's say they have 2 and I have 3 monsters. I can only bounce 2 to get rid of the 2, and they're going to be using a traditional 1,000 hands and go into an incantation. So clearly this is a ritual deck, or at least a ritual deck in heart. They're tossing preparation of preparation of rights. I'm going to go for that incantation. If it is special summoned, this card special summons to your deck, you can add 1 ritual spell. Okay. I think preparation of rights would have literally done the same thing. Incantation spell in order to bring out the incantation that they just revealed in order to use its effect, I think. The thing is like, I don't know what incantation does. I've never seen anyone actually use it offensively. I think, like, ever, actually. So, we're in for a treat. However, whatever monsters that they special summon, ritual monsters, I think, are, like, one of the worst things to have bounce. It is impossible to undo. Okay. This card's ritual summon, you can add 1 megalith spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. During your main phase, you can activate this effect, ritual summon 1 ritual monster from your hand by tripping monsters from your hand or field, whose levels exceed, or blah blah blah. Okay. So it's an incantation core inside of a megalith deck. Okay. That makes more sense. Another preparation of rights, which means that they did have more than 1 copy. Alright, so the real question is that how do we beat this? Because here's the thing, I can overwrite any monster that they have with one of my kaiju, and then simply summon Alpha, bounce Alpha and the creature that I summoned, and they go back to my hand. Yeah, so they're going to use it as a free ritual effect. Meaning, whatever ritual monster they have in their hand, they can use in order to ritual summon something else out. Megalith Haggith is good, but you still have to put it on the board. It really is a Megalith deck. You can have one Megalith main deck monster. During my phase, you can use card ritual summon one monster from your hand by triggering monsters. Yeah. If this monster is ritual summoned, you can target any monster from your graveyard, add it to your hand. Oh, it's a neat little recycling system. Adds the card back, and then now it's getting a main deck monster. So Megalith is level 4, maybe specifically. It's also acting like, what's the strategy? It's the other more popular ritual deck. Cyber Angels are usually in it. Anyway, they tend to bounce around between 2 to 3 main deck monsters that are able to kind of pull off something similar. Baguska. Alright, well, that Baguska is dead. Yeah. While this card isn't face-up defense, it'll face-up monster change defense position and negate their effects. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and Kaiju that card away. Now you no longer have Baguska. Okay. Let's see. Or I could just leave them with it, although I doubt that would be a good idea considering they might be able to summon more with it. Let's see. If I go Rescue Cat, and then that would be 2 cards, I think, right? Whereas if I just do one singular normal summon and give them 1 card, I can just punch them with this. Let's see. Or I know the Maxi is doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is suppressing me from playing. Which is basically what it's doing, because I can give them 1 card, take the card back, and then still leave my field barren, or I can give them no draws, and then just deny them an attack. And then still have the ability to set up next turn. So I think what Maxi basically does is, do you have the ability to not play to work around it, or do you have to play at least somewhat through it? I think my deck has the ability to efficiently play through it with the minimum amount of special summons, and then 0 special summons as well. They're going to do the resource loop. And the main reason I'm doing it is because that's 1 Maxi in the hand. So if they can do 8,000 damage in 1 turn, especially since if they don't pop this card, they're denied a singular swing anyway. All monsters your opponents control loses attack power. Ritual summon 1 Megalith from your deck and defense position by tree monsters in your hand or field. Okay. This deck is a little too dependent on cards that says Ritual Summon. Not creatively enough, yes, they actually did use the Kaiju in order to go into a Ritual Monster, which I kind of assumed that would happen. Gives them Bethor. Oh, I guess he does have a pop effect. It doesn't really matter because the monster has has 2 cards in hand, and he's just going to use that in order to ritual summon again. But he's already used the effect of the field spell, so as far as I know, it's just a matter of just putting another card on the field. Which, at this point, I'm starting to fail to see the relevance. Also, yeah, I probably should have used the Moth would have been a much better effect because it would have been 7. Okay, so it's just going to mirror a monster's level, which it could be an 8, and they could do what my other ritual deck does, which is if you're also just trying to put bodies on the field that happen to be a certain number, and you can go into exceed plays because they're still technically considered level monsters. Okay, it's just a 4, but it's also adding a card in hand. Nothing on the field. Oh, all of them say that. Okay. All of them, I guess, say you can ritual summon. But what they added to... Oh, it's a 4, so because it's a 4, it'll just swap itself out. Again, though, until I've proven how this deck is supposed to work, I'm not really seeing a strategy here. I'm seeing a resource loop that just kind of starts to dwindle your hand smaller and smaller. Whereas my resource loop, for the most part, allows my hand to become bigger and bigger over time. Okay. Draw 1 card and discard 1 card, so they don't have a card in hand. Or no. They will only have 1 card in hand. Quick effect, you can activate this effect, ritual summon 1 monster from your hand by treating monster's field, include this card. It's a quick effect, ritual summon. Okay. Man, I am actually starting to get really annoyed by this simple, constantly ritual summoning effect. It is insanely annoying. Let's see. You can target up to the number of ritual monsters in your graveyard, but they only had 1 target, so it didn't really matter. Okay, 43. Yeah, that's it. Okay. From what I can tell, I don't think I actually have anything to worry about. Say, if this card is ritual summoned, you can target 1 card and your opponent controls the number of ritual monsters, and that's it. And you're allowed to ritual summon. That's it. Yeah, I don't really see how they win, but okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kaiju this thing, I believe is the correct, because it's the one giving them the power. Let's see. Then we're going to special summon this card. Let's see. Do I have a monster engrave? Well, I do, but it's not level 4. Let's see. I'm going to normal summon this and go ahead and just pitch it in order to grab 2 cards. Let's see. I'd go for Nature at Beast because of the 1 effect. Yeah, you know what? Because they're kind of spell heavy, let's go for it. Yeah, we're gonna go into... Oh my goodness! I completely forgot that I could make that with the deer. What is it? Run over a card and pop a card? Once per turn, you target 1 card in the field, destroy it. Yeah, actually, that works. And it's a negate. You'll have to excuse me, I completely forgot how to play this game. I was gonna say, does this work? Select another card. No. I want my kaiju back. battle phase. Alright, their entire field has been dismantled. Let's set a card and pass it over to them and see what they do. I don't think any of their effects had graveyard effects. Besides, whatever they play, I will straight up negate, and I have a 6k board presence. No, I will not tag out, and I have remembered that effect. That's a terrible effect right now. Let's see. They're going to go ahead and continue, although that is a foolish endeavor, because depending on what that card is, I have to. Alright, we got it. Man, not only are we getting some really good games, but I'm wanting to record every single one of them. I think I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and accept the fact that all of these old games, all these old replays are just going to have to be removed because I should have them recorded. If I don't, it's not exactly that big a deal. Anything made public should already be on the channel, and at this point, because we're getting so many good games, yeah, I'd rather just go ahead and just make room. Because, let's see, these are 1.5, and these are all very old. I'm going to wait on that one at least, and then let's go ahead and save that other duel. These have actually been really fun so far. Because I think the main thing is that, like, because it's such a control strategy, it's one of those where if your deck is not strong enough or resource intensive, then it's hard to keep up, but I can brick. It is very possible for me to just have a very bad opening hand and stuff like that. Anyway, we've gotten to 3,000 in gems, which is excellent. I might buy the pass, but the only reason I would even buy the pass is because I got to 50, most likely, just because the resources might be worth it, but that's 70... let's see. Brain tired, don't feel like doing math in my head. Yeah, okay. 20, 30. $375 from the bottom tier if I bought the shop upgrade. 375. So what? 350. I would earn, if I got to 50, I would earn half of this back, which I think at the end of the day is still okay. I don't mind paying 350 for the for these, because the main thing is that you're getting like the 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 34, 30, 40, like 40 dust or something like that. And I think that was counting from where I was, not at 50. So paying 350 or 325 for a bunch of UR dust, yeah, I think that's worth it. But we gotta get to 50 first for me to really feel like it's worth it. So let's make some progress. don't expect the lower rank duels to be really difficult, but I do expect to find some pretty consistent strategies. So Sword Soul was not a surprise. The Megalith, however, I'm way more interested in rogue strategies, is what they call strategies that are traditional. This is, without a doubt, a pretty bad hand, actually. I don't know if I want to activate that. Honestly, I think I'm more interested in setting Mind Mole and then Solemn Judgment, just because if they do something really bad, I need to stop it. But I feel like this is just a free pop. It'll pull aggro, they'll pop it. I guess maybe that's not terrible. Can already do something. Oh, okay. They're blowing Maxi. Alright. Well, they get to start with one less card on the start of their turn because I don't plan on special summoning, which they should have read the card, and I'm passing. So they'll start with 4 cards in hand. One of them better be a good starter or drawing one. I have a card that is immune to battle once. If they end up only staying on one singular card, that's really good for us. If they end up doing something significantly terrible in the form of me recognizing how bad it is, I can Solemn Judgment it. Otherwise, Lightning Storm, let me guess, spells. Well, they wanted to get rid of it as badly as possible, and they're still trying to do that. They only have 4 cards in hand, and as... yeah, I start this duel at 4,000 life points. Because I'm, again, these are just duels. I'm fine losing. It's not a big deal. But I'd rather them work their way to beating my 8,000 rather than cutting it in half for them. This card is in your hand or graveyard. You can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Also, you cannot special summon monster except Diverse. Oh, well, we're good. We're swinging. Not only is it too small, but it cannot be destroyed anyway. So, we're good. Worked out for us. Problem is that Math Mech cards have pretty good spells and traps. And I just end up with the same card they destroyed anyway. Man. I have nothing so far. I can just play it again, just to piss them off, because that'll force them to realize, oh, you know, I have the same card that I had a second ago. Meaning, they used a resource to destroy a resource, yes, but I effectively have it at the end of the day. This card, you can send this face-up card to the field, the third one card controls and destroy it. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna go to the end phase. Yeah, so they're gonna have to use this card to destroy this, because they cannot use it to destroy this because it'll be immune to destruction effect because of the card that they hate in the field. Of course, here's the first problem. Now they can actually work towards building towards the boss monster. So it's 8, but that doesn't really matter unless they can get another 8 on the field, or if they're going to go into their boss monster. The yep, that'll work. You can attack twice. Nothing gives it piercing, if I remember correctly. So nothing that it just did mattered. They're gonna go into Exceed. Okay. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good trap card. For a deck that has a bunch of cards in the graveyard, that's a really good card to fill. Oh, they're gonna send one monster I control to the graveyard. Okay. So, yeah. What they're doing is the same thing that a Mathmech deck would be doing. Oh, they're ripping from my hand? Oh, they're doing everything. Okay. Yeah, so for everything that I've seen, a Mathmech deck, all they're doing is just an OTK. That's all they're just trying to attack. As soon as it's their turn the first time, they're just trying to. That's all I've ever seen. The Mind Mole was great for that situation. The problem was that I really just didn't have any support cards to help it. I had a Revive, but of course they did go into the boss monster and just straight up remove everything I had on the board. Mathmech, but it's also why I like Sigma, I think, a little bit more specifically, especially since it's a generic monster. I always hate that. Every time a duel starts and it's like, it may be your turn, but we're waiting on your opponent to see if they want to activate any effects. It's like, first off, what effect can you activate? And two, can you not do that? Can we just go to my turn? Because you usually never do activate anything. Oh, their connection is bad. Alright, we're going to go ahead and pretty much just go ahead and go for the starter. You have to every time. Even if they use anything to prevent this from happening, I've got Forbidden Shadows to try to slow them down, and Caddy in order to search for something on their turn. The main thing that I'd want to go for here, since we can't pop anything, is Melffy of the Forest to go get a puppy. Because having a battle-protected monster, it doesn't matter if they can bounce it. I can't really make a monster with decent attack power. There's no face-up monster or card in general I want to turn off, and nothing to negate. So I just have to put a defense position monster, puppy, and hope for the best. The big thing about having this card, of course, is anytime a Melffy monster bounces, you get to point at something and turn it off, and it cannot swing. We're going to go for the standard setup. Using this on Beaver doesn't matter because if you read its effect, it is normal summoned. This would special summon it, and even though it doesn't... Does it? Actually? That's a good question. It is not a once per turn. It wouldn't actually matter. I'm going to go ahead and set this card in the bottom right, and go ahead and end turn. Now, of course, if they find any way to get rid of either of my Melffy cards, I do have Resurrect. That also cuts the opponent's monster's attack down. Attack. The delay actually might straight up just be the fact that it's a bad connection. Me and my friends had the discussion. We were wondering how many people actually play mobile, because this is a mobile title. I don't imagine that mobile is a great experience, but there's been so many circumstances where there's been like a really bad connection like this. And it just makes you wonder, if you're playing on a LAN connection, you shouldn't have any issues. Even on a Wi-Fi connection, you shouldn't have any issues. A phone, however, that's a whole nother story. Phones are notoriously terrible depending on where you are or how you're trying to play the game. Because like if you're on a desktop or a laptop with Wi-Fi, you know to be right up next to the Wi-Fi and stuff like that if you're trying to get a good connection. Phone, however, you kind of just feel like you can be wherever as long as you're on a connection. If you use mobile, it's even worse. Anytime your opponent takes damage from a card effect, inflicts damage to them. Okay. Anytime your opponent takes damage from a card effect. Okay. Anytime you're getting burned, get additional burn. Okay, so it is a cyber deck. Okay. There's nothing I can do about that card. Chalice only targets monsters. So I'm pretty much just waiting for them to grab a card and do something about it. The real question is what are they going to do? Unless it's this very specific when played effect for a monster, Chalice still isn't going to do anything, and I can just pop it with Puppy. The main thing is that's their special summon, and it's on the field. I'll do this, and I'm not worried about popping it because I have Chalice and I have a pop. So what I'm going to do is add, which is a really good question. Because of what they could have, I'm honestly more scared of their boss monsters. I'm more afraid of their boss monsters. So let's just set up a bounce for that. I will not activate Forest. I'm going to delay Forest because negating this doesn't do anything. 2 negates, 1 pop. Target 1 low-3 lower in your graveyard. Equip that monster with this card. Gain attack. If this card attack. Piercing. In the grave? Well, I can't. Target 1 low-3 lower dragon monster in your graveyard. This card attacks. What is it doing? This card's normal summon. Target 1 low-3 lower dragon monster in your graveyard. Equip this dragon monster to this card. Oh, I'm reacting to its summon, but its effect actually won't go off. I gotcha. I'm so used to on-summon effects being triggered. I was gonna say, yeah, they put a body on the board, but, like, what are they doing? Yeah, they're gonna have to attack Melffy of the Forest. Which, yeah, it is a loss, but I can get it back. Still kind of confused on what they're trying to do. I don't know why they summoned it unless they intend on attacking with both. Which, again, yeah, Alpha ended up being a really good idea. It would destroy the equipped monster, and it's piercing. That's all it is. Okay. 800 attack, 1400 defense, 1500 defense. I can go into a 4? Sorry, a 3, if I decided to use that effect. Now let's just go for the pop. They can't attack into it. Level 4 or lower. And I'll go ahead and just crack it. They already swung with their 21, which means I can't do anything else. Next turn, they might be able to, or sorry, main phase 2, they may try to do something else. But like I said, I've got Alpha. Alpha essentially can just bounce whatever board they try to create. Which from the looks of it doesn't look like much. Okay. Rescue Cat. Wow. That is like a 1 in a million draw. That's insane. I had a chance to grab Alpha or Cat. I got Alpha. Still drew Cat. It's like, wow. That's perfect. Icing on the cake. Okay. What do we want to do first? We can bring this back, but I'd rather do it at the end of the turn if we're going to do that. Otherwise, I'd rather just... If I bounce the Cyber Dragon, it won't matter. So, yeah, it is actually just better to kill it. You want to do your Alpha first because it has they have to have more attack than you. So then the follow-up of oh, wait a minute. I could give up my normal summon. No. I could do this, go into Defleur, Oh my goodness. I hardly ever get to do this. This is great. I love this. I do love me some Fleur. We're gonna go into Sunrise. Honestly, a beat stick would just be better, but I think a turn off effect might even be the smarter strategy, because that's a negate. I do have 2 negates on board, but I'd rather have another negate. Let's see. I'm going to... yeah, switch this into attack position. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. We're going to go into battle. I'm just going to beat the Cyber Dragon. I could have negated its effect and give it more attack power. That actually would have been like more insulting. Activate the Fleur, go ahead and get rid of this spell card, just so that it's not sealed. And then I think we're gonna go to Enfei. I could have probably had swung with this, but a Zeus is a big body, but it's still not a negate. Yeah, I'm playing around the fact that I have 2 negates sitting on board too. Like, I have to be careful. It's like, don't activate anything you don't need to activate. Okay, we have a Omni negate, we have a monster negate, and then we have a monster negate. So I'd say we're probably doing pretty good, which, man, that's a lot to say for a Melffy deck. It's really crazy. I'm still trying to work out what main deck cards I want, though. Forbidden Chalice is fine, but at the end of the day, I feel like, was it Infinite Impermanence? More copies of Infinite Impermanence and more copies of Lightning Storm might just be better, but I don't know, because you can have a side deck, it doesn't really matter. If I summon Naturia Beast, it turns off all spells, which means that all my negates should probably just focus on monsters, because that's the one thing that's hard to control. Melffy of the Forest is a really early summon that you make. If you go for Puppy, then Puppy will always make Melffy of the Forest live, meaning you always point at one monster, turn off its effects, and it can't attack. And Puppy, of course, is a pop. It's a really good combo, but like, you're asking for a lot in one turn. And the main strategy that I use in real life is sprites. It's a combination of sprites and current Melffy support, because Wally is really good. I can't really do any of that, obviously, until that support is released. And because it's real, because those cards are real and were released, I would hope, in some form or fashion, that they acknowledge that those cards are real in the real world and decide to port them into Master Duel at some point. Right now, they're just acknowledging the fact that they just want the best current cards out, which is why they did the Albaz structure deck. They did, no, I don't want to tag out. They did a lot of current strategies from a couple sets back, I think. And then they did a water set, which is okay, but I think they're just trying to play a game of catch-up. Also, this guy's connection is horrible. Regeki. Well, yeah, I prefer that you don't do that. So I'm just going to say no. Yeah, Raigeki's not once per turn, but you can only have one Raigeki. I think the current TCG has it to where you can actually have 2 Raigekis. And I want to say I'm wrong, but I think that's what it is. It's a pretty crazy card, if you think about it. Once per turn, you contribute 1 Cyrus monster, then target 1 face-up monster opponent controls, destroy it. It's most likely going to use that effect specifically to destroy... If I do Caddy, I can turn off its effects. Do I want to pop it? Or do I want to just tell it to sit. I think I want to tell it to sit. I'm going to go grab... Oh, what do I want to grab? Let's just grab Caddy. I know I have another one in hand, but at this point I also don't really have anything that I can do. Alright, so it cannot tribute and it cannot attack. So they're going to have to go into an extra deck monster somehow. Also, I would like to think that this deck is kind of like the rare terror that shows up, that when you end up fighting it and you just have no idea how it works, you're just stunned. And you're just like, how am I supposed to win? Or like, what am I supposed to do? And you're just like struggling. And I think the sack is the cost. Yeah, once returned, you can tribute one. Oh, it's not a semicolon. Am I going to read this right? Once per turn. No? Okay. That is the cost. I figured it was. It's just, I don't know. Something else that came up, I guess. Another show of someone who hasn't been playing a lot, or probably hasn't played almost any. Thank goodness for people piloting really strong decks with really bad handling. A dud card that would be useful if the Raigeki did actually go off, because I have to have no monsters on the field to be able to activate this, and then it locks me into beasts, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but we definitely need more beast extra deck cards that you can go into, I think. This is a pretty long duel. I'll be exceptionally happy as soon as this is done. Yep, they probably used connection lost. Yep. I'm not gonna save that one. Both because it was frustratingly annoying to just sit there and wait for the connection. I'm not too worried about keeping that particular play. Yeah, making some. And I think the thing is, like, I'm not set for the game. Ooh, hello. It's like, will I finally be able to play you? Bad part is Mind Mole's in my hand, so I can't make Naturia Beast. I think the main strategy I'm going to do is the more turtle one. Activating this could save me if they're a field spell specific deck. This is a prevented attack, this is immune to one attack, and then depending on their board, I can do Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, which also still allows me to go into Rescue Cat. Oh, Rescue Cat is actually really broken, because if I give them the 7 Kaiju and I get the 8 Kaiju, I can go to Defleur. Interrupted Kaiju Slumber is good because it's a 1 card. Oh boy, Drytrons. I am probably going to have to... Oh, they're going to negate Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just lost this, because if I'd gone into Rescue Cat... No, Drytrons don't use... They can use spells. However, Drytrons tend to use spells for specific effects. But yeah, this match was determined, I think, the moment I didn't summon Naturia Beast. Or not. is going on? Why is there suddenly Megalith again? I have never heard of this being something that was, like, strong or worth running. Yeah, because there hasn't been a spell, and we've already done Megaliths once, meaning every single one of the ritual Megaliths is just going to allow another ritual summon. However, I will laugh if they do this entire process to go into the one ritual that's like, you know, I'm super huge because of other ritual monsters, and I'm gonna punch your face down, and it's like, bonk. Yeah. You can target, yeah, they have to, okay, that would have been the right target, yeah. Okay. If you do the loop, well, they don't have this field spell, so that doesn't help as much. But if they do the loop, yeah, they're bound to end on that card at least, which it is a pop spell. Oh, okay. Nope. I will straight up scoop because what they basically did, which, hey, you know what? Credit to them, they did a Megalith combo to just try to and then they went into a rank card. Problem is that that rank card, what it's doing is, yeah, so Nature Beast wouldn't have mattered. No, it's just all monsters. Okay, Caddy's not bad. Let's see. They can Ash this, but I can still get Caddy off. Yeah, this is always a turn 1 play. You have to do this as your first action, because otherwise nothing else works. That's a Caddy. So I can do Puppy and Fenny? Nothing has happened yet. We're gonna go for Melffy Hide and Seek to give him Destruction Protection once. We'll go for Closed Force to turn off field spells. Why is this not turned on? Sorry for the random breathing. I forgot what the mute button was. I ended up hitting the pause recording button. Anyway, I don't know why that's not on, but we'll worry about it later. We're going to go into Joyous Melffy. Joyous Melffy makes the rabbit live and then gives me my other cards. Which, funny enough, you could call this a pseudo because of what it does. We're going to go ahead and go to the end phase. Even if they write Geki, it doesn't matter because I have the card that protects them. Uh-oh. Activating a card from hand. Oh, they may have a Maxi. Wow! Does that destroy? If you do negate that activation to do that, destroy that monster. Aww. Well, that's one card ripped from their hand. Main deck monster ripped from their hand. And as soon as the end phase is over, they're gone. So that's a little disappointing. Caddy would have been amazing. Of course, Caddy would have been amazing in general, but yeah. Of course, the best decks / best hand at this point would be. What does this do? I know the card, I just don't know the deck. Start of your turn, main phase, and one monster with zero attack from your deck to your hand with half your life points after any. There's no point in using my pop effect right now. Numeron. Okay. Got you. You can send this card from your hand if you agree to activate Numeron Network directly from your hand or deck. The pop effect is not going to matter because they can just do it quickly enough. It's fine. All I'm waiting for, because it's a Numeron deck, from one card and target 2 spell or trap cards on the field. Destroy them. Oh, he's trying to get rid of the closed forest. That's right. Numerons cannot activate their field spell because of closed forest. Problem is, they still can't. If I pop that card, no, because it would be a quick effect. If I pop the card, man, they would have to. Yep. Go ahead and activate it. It's fine. Activate Numeron Wall. I'm gonna have to do it now anyway. It doesn't matter. Losing Fenny sucks. But yeah, I need these more. Let's see. Numeron Wall. Pain in the butt. I gotcha. I'm gonna activate it. I really should get rid of the back row card. If you control no cards except Numeron Walls, you can send this card from your hand or field in the graveyard, activate Numeron Network, and you can only use effects. I'm just gonna go ahead and I think that turns off my interrupted Kaiju Slumber, because I have this in hand. No, apparently I still have 3. Or I still have 2 in the deck, which means I have 3, which is good. They're XYZ monsters, which means that they would be forced to be in the defense position, which means they cannot attack, which essentially means that I don't have game, but I have game. I remember it summons Infinity Tracker. Of course, now that I'm thinking about it, it's like I could have possibly had just tried to put enough damage on the board. No, I don't think I could have, honestly. I don't think I could have put enough attack power on the field, because it was 3 bodies with no normal summon. So yeah, because of what the deck is, a Zeus would have been pretty good, honestly. Okay, this is great. This is perfect, because if I lose my Link monster, I have a follow-up. Oh, they failed to read the card. That's fair. Hopefully that's the first time they've activated it, and they learned real quick why that didn't work. They were supposed to have activated it at the beginning of the turn. Thanks. It prevents them from declaring an attack, not, it negates an attack. Threatening Roar is a monster kind of, like, it pretty much tries to prevent your opponent from making any attack, instead of just trying to stop one. Protection trap. There's a lot more powerful cards, a lot more popping cards that are run more often, so the Scarecrow doesn't really last as long as it needs to, but it's okay. I'm going to activate that because that ended up winning us the Numeron game. Literally won us the game because it just prevented them from doing the one and only strategy a Numeron deck does. Which again, if I had an Nature Beast, which I've done that already once, you just turn off their deck, which is great. Which one? Okay. I guess because there's more cards that way, that would have been a better strategy. That makes sense. Of course, if this is another person trying to activate their field spell, still Closed Forest prevents that from happening. Also, Closed Forest, underrated card, in my opinion. It's just really good. There's a lot of decks that really require their field spells. It's just, it says no. You're not allowed to activate it. It's fun. What is this? If next summons in the field, you special summon this card from your hand. Okay, it's a normal summon. You can send one other card from your hand or field to graveyard, add one. Well, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to bounce, and against better judgment, I probably should get Cat. But I don't... Well... I do have a way to get rid of something. But I might be taking way too much damage. So I'm just going to stick with the safer... Just pop it. It was a normal summon, so let's hope they don't have a strategy beyond that. 3 cards in hand. Okay, it's in phase. I was going to say, please be a really good draw, and it's like, it's mid. Alright, we're going to go ahead and set that. No monsters, and... unfortunately, yeah, just not worry about doing 200 damage in life points. And just bring back... Now we could afford to search anything, because if they happen to swing with something, we can Mirror Force and be okay. We also happen to have a body on the board that allows us to protect ourselves. The problem is that, yeah, that. Another possible top deck card where they're just like, you know what, play another card to destroy all your stuff. What is this deck? Oh, Sphere Mode. They never had enough targets. If I had actually summoned the puppy in attack position and had swung possibles, or had gone into Zeus would have never mattered, it would have been Regeki anyway. You can't target a face-up monsters, it's just going to be battle. Okay. I have a trap card that's live. I don't know about you. Oh, I also have that. I cannot... Ooh, I need to destroy that. If I bring out... Let's see what happens. Normal summon, nothing. This beast is summoning this card. Okay, what do we do? Cannot be destroyed by battle, pointing and turning something off with still 22. That sounds really good. I do not have a monster in hand, so this is kind of pointless. Melffy the Forest starts collecting stuff again. I could turn this off so they can't use its effect. I don't know. I could try to wrap up this duel now by going on the offensive. But does it make sense where, like, I'd rather be defensive? This is basically putting them on the clock, making them have to do something in order to try to win. If this ends up in the graveyard, it's one additional monster, and I can go into a 4. No, I can go into a 3. Okay. That's a great top deck. I can lose my monster on the field, and I wouldn't be worried about it. I have a 3. 1, 2... Okay. This will need to be in the grave. Gotcha. I can go into... I'm not worried about that face-up, I think, anymore. And the Zeus is more... Yeah, the Zeus is more powerful. Zeus is more powerful, technically, because it's able to wipe that card from the field. It's actually able to wipe all cards from the field, anyway. But I'm going to try to not do that. I'm going to go into Puppy. It didn't activate when I swung, and it hasn't activated whenever I played cards. So I'm wondering what it's supposed to be. Also, they're not dead yet. Play a card. Any card. Preferably a monster, please. I would totally love a monster. I think what they're thinking is that I don't have lethal. I have lethal. I have exactly lethal. That is hilarious. Wow. That's weird. That was... I wouldn't call it a great back and forth, because all it was just a Raigeki in that storm. It wasn't a great back and forth at all, but I can't exactly, fault them for using, Lightning Storm and Raigeki. And it was keeping me on my toes for sure, suppressing me and all that. I wonder if I have to refresh these, or if they're just not live because of something else. I don't know. The login is always, working, which is weird. I definitely have done these. And I am in ranked mode, but I don't know. 42 out of 15. Alright, I'm back. Let's see. Hour and 30, it's not bad. I went from Jade to Silver 5. Let's see. 349. Spend... It's not the 350, obviously, that I was promised. 50... Yeah, it's quite a bit. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. It puts me to 279. And then... back to 3,000. Awesome. That actually was perfect. I ended up putting me right where I wanted to be anyway. 3,000. I have 3,000 to spin, hopefully, the next pack that comes out. Of course, we have this, which was a surprise release. This one, which is the main one that everyone's using. Labyrinths, which is a control trap strategy deck. Runic, which is a spell-based control mill deck. This one, which is gonna fade out, which... There's still cards I'm missing from this, but I'm not buying any more cards. I've spent enough gems in this. I do want to finish this strategy, the Valence, but at the same time, I'm willing to just go without. I do want to actually have a Froststar deck, you know, that complements that rank 3 right here, him. But rolling at this point is just kind of pointless. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait on all of that, and then, you know what? I know it's only been an hour and 30 minutes, but I think I'm good. I think that was a good amount of progress. I don't want to push, I never want to push myself too hard. And I know it's like, well, you know, if you can do another 30 minutes, just do it. You know, it's the whole, you know, you can, and just push yourself and do better and do better and do better. I'm never a big fan of pushing myself too hard at first, because this is the first live stream that I've done in a while. So I'm going to go ahead and call it, because I have other things that I can do. I got to record those 3 and put them up anyway, which that's progress. That's great. You know, if I can somehow have like 5 recordings, 1 per day, you know, except for the weekends, that'd be great. That wouldn't be too bad of a thing. Still figuring out, you know, all of this, but I had fun. Went from Jade all the way to the bottom of Silver, and then we'll just work our way from there. And I imagine it's going to get a lot harder. But yeah, let's do this one real quick. We'll do a spectate. Still, of course. Actually, you know what? I might stay with the Alistair stuff. I just don't know what I would do. So we have Code Plants, Brain Infusion. Okay, so they're just basically mishmashing 2 really strong strategies together. Of course, the other one is now running Elbaz. This one's the Eyes of Blue. Alright. These are confused decks. I would have gone with a Heart and Feather Duster, but okay. We're going to go and just assure that we're going to pop a 1 specific card. The other plant card. Pendulumed. So they are actually penduluming, which is weird. Brain Infusion. No. Yeah, I like that. They're going to this card, which should be able to bounce itself and the Elbaz in order to go into the card. It's going into Seer Drive. Harvey's Feather Duster is late, you know. At this point, they'd already proven that it can't interfere with their combo. Pendulums can go into a card. Wow, and they both trigger. That's some luck, I think, right there, that's for sure. Yeah. Pendulum 2 card, or Pendulum set 2 cards. Alright, I see the line here. That's gotta be a once per turn, right? No? Greedy business. This is... Yeah. Okay. That was impressive for 320. Branded FTK. Okay. Whatever works. Let's see, how much space? I've got space for 3. Okay. What was it? Oh, my brain is mush right now. Invoker. Let's see. I don't think this is any good. Let's see. The ratios might be off or whatever, but it's alright. Could have sworn there was another. Well, there is the smaller invoker cards. I actually have no idea how to search those. He's a dark, right? Yeah. Use one of these if I have like a quick way to bring it out. Kind of like Nimble Beaver, but with something dark. It is at 2, never mind. Wrong format, still right though. Let's see. And no, I don't have any extra cards. Okay. This card is sent to the field to the graveyard. Add 1 monster with another attack from your deck to your hand, but you cannot activate cards or the effects of the names of the name sent. I'm just trying to think, what is a deck that I can run where Alistair, the Invoker, is like not a side piece inside the deck, but is actually part of the main deck? And the problem is that I'm trying to remember the card that Alistair, the Invoker, is based on. Alistair, the Invoker. Oh, wait, is it? Yeah. Prophecy Magistus. Prophecy and Magistus. Oh. Okay, where is the miniature? While this card is an equipped card, the equipped monster gains 1,000 attack and defense. During the main phase, you can target one other face-up monster on the field. Equip this card you control to it. If this card was equipped to an opponent's monster by its effect, take control of the equipped monster. Also cannot activate its effects. That sounds really good, honestly. If you were to run this, how would you run it? You can send one spellcaster monster from your hand or face on the field of the grave or special summon this card from your hand. You can declare one attribute. This card becomes attribute until the end of the turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Then target one Magus monster you control. Equip it with one Magus monster from your graveyard except a level 4 monster. This is going to take a lot of reading and it's going to kill my brain, but I'm gonna work on it. You can target one Magus monster you control. Equip it with a Magus monster from your extra deck. Okay. And you could do that with the fusion monster. You can target. If I just run this card alone, you can target one Magus monster you can control, which it could be itself. Equip it with one, which would be the fusion, which would be a 1,000 attack points. If this card becomes equipped with a Magus monster card, you can special summon one level 4 spellcaster monster from your hand or graveyard defense position, except itself, but its effects are negated. Okay. This allows you to get this card back. It is a quick effect, which its effects are negated, but that's not a big deal. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters in your hand or field's material, including a spellcaster monster. If summoning a Magus fusion monster this way, you can also use monsters in your spell trap zones that are equipped to a Magus monster. Okay. Well, that's kind of rough. There's only one monster to pick. Oh, never mind. Sorry. This is a generic fusion spell that fusion summons a monster from your extra deck using materials from your hand or field as long as one of them is a spellcaster monster. Meaning, this is kind of like a generic way to fusion off Alistair, but at the same time, you can also fusion off the spellcasters in your hand. Spellcaster Tuner. This card's normal special summon. You can activate one of these effects. Add a spell. Return one banished level 4 spellcaster from your graveyard. A monster to your graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard. You can target one monster you control with one You banish this card from your graveyard, then target one matches monster you control, equip it with one monster from your graveyard, except a level 4 monster. 4, 4, 4, 4. Wait, what? Then target one magic monster you control, equip it with one magic monster in your graveyard. So their whole gimmick is to try to put these cards in the grave and attach them. Because the main deck monsters are 4s, which means you can't attach a 4 to a 4. It can get around it. If this card single summon, you can equip one magic monster from your extra deck to this card. Your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters of the same card type. Yeah, there are 3. There are the 3 deck type, the 3s. But there is a link. You're right. This deck takes a lot of reading, which I'm not really complaining, but it's not terrible. What? How to obtain? How about that? Oh, ew. That card is from 2 packs. Let's not worry about that. You have to craft him. Seekers of Witchcraft is what that card's in. That part is like Seekers of Witchcraft. Seekers of Witchcraft. Okay, we're gonna do what MBT does, and we're gonna actually look at the pack. Invoked Elysium. Invoked. Oh, wait a minute. So it's both? Oh, it's Witchcrafters in general. Actually, I don't think I have a problem with Witchcrafters. They're gonna make face grave, you can draw this card, then discard one spell, then summon one Witchcraft monster from your deck, except itself. If you have no cards in your hand, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Witchcraft monster in your graveyard added to your hand. I think the biggest issue I have, if I were to open something to go into it, would be I'm not too sure how well the Witchcrafters would work together. Hold on one second. Alright, I'm back. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I know that I was trying to work on the deck, but there's far too many options for me to make something like cohesively well right now. Plus, I'm probably gonna just resort to a bunch of different YouTube videos just to get some suggestions. But yeah, I had fun. Solid game so far, and I hope to continue to make the effort to stream, make some more progress, some more videos, this, that, and the other. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here.